It's time to ditch the ad slop for the entire house network. This little beauty blocks 97% of annoying ads, trackers, telemetry, fingerprints, malware, smart, and all the other trash that the internet big tech like Microslop wants to shove into your house. And the best part, this thing does not require any browser extensions. Any browser, any device connected to your house network will be protected. Alright, so let's assemble this. We need this little sweet Kana kit from Raspberry Pi and a short network cable. Prices jump around, so check Amazon or Kana kit directly. Kits like this run between $100 to $150 these days, depending on the model and the bundle. Corporate greed jacks up the prices on everything down the supply chain. Good time to save money and protect ourselves from the evil temptations online. This kit comes with documentation if you want to tinker with this small PC. A 32GB micro SD storage card, heat sinks, an on and off switch on a dongle, interesting solution. USB adapter for the storage card. 5V 2.5 amp power adapter, nice black case to keep your Raspberry Pi safe, no naked circuit board lying around, and the computer itself. This little marvel will be our DNS server and filter, a hardware solution to the smart and surveillance problem. Insert the card into the adapter, attach heat sinks, insert the card into USB on your computer, but not the USB hub. Download the system image from the Raspberry Pi website, that's right under the software tab. Change permission to 755 so we can run it, and run it. Select your version of the Raspberry Pi, mine is the Pi 3, which is plenty enough for this. Choose a 64-bit operating system, it's a child of Debian Linux. Select the USB attached storage. Give it a name, Raspberry for example. Make sure no spaces, because this becomes a host name. Select capital city, time zone, and keyboard. That will provide the localization formats and such. Enter username, admin in my case, and a nice hefty password. You are storing passwords in a good password manager, right? Leave the wireless network alone. We're using wired. Enable SSH and select password authentication. Leave Raspberry Pi Connect off. And write the image to disk. This will take some time. When done, verify hostname, localization, user account, and SSH are configured. Insert the memory card you just configured into the back of the Raspberry Pi circuitry. Assemble your hardware. And voila! We have our server ready to plug and configure. Plug the server with the network cable into the back of the router. Supply power, and we're done with the hardware setup. Now it just sits there, filtering the entire house network, protecting us from the ad slop and telemetry, fingerprinting, and other stuff. Well, most of it anyhow. Now, the server software. Back in the office, open the router interface and navigate to the local network configuration tab. It will look different on your router, but the functionality is the same. Here we do two things, but not back to back. First, set up the static IP for your little DNS server. That is often called DHCP reservation, so do poke around your router interface to see where it's at. What this does, it sets exactly the same IP to your Raspberry Pi every time it boots. This is a very important part. That's done, we will come back to the router after some software setup on the Raspberry itself. Now that our Raspberry has a static IP, we can edit our hosts file and assign the Raspberry IP to a name, so we don't have to memorize the numbers. Hey, good luck Windows users, host file isn't editable for you, so you're stuck with the IP. Sudo nano etc hosts, add your new resolution, ping it. If it replies, we are golden. Now let's log into it. SSH admin at Raspberry, in my case because I chose admin as my username, with the password that we set up during the installation. Windows users might need to download the SSH client app. SSH may not be installed by default. It sucks to be a Windows user. Raspberry is a Debian Linux under the hood, so it uses the apt package manager. Let's update our packages. Sudo apt update and sudo apt full-upgrade-y. Next, install our DNS server with the filtering. Here's the magic command. curl minus lowercase s followed by capital S, capital L, https://install.pi-hole.net pipe bash. Scary and overwhelming? Don't worry about it. You can follow this quite easily if you just copy-paste the instructions that are located underneath this video in the description. The installer might remind you to donate if you like it. It'll remind you that your IP must be static. We already did that. Select ETH0. That is our wired network interface. Select upstream DNS provider quad 9 filtered ECSDNSSEC. Next, it will offer to set up a default block list. This is not complete, but get it nonetheless. We will add more later. I would advise you to not enable logging. Raspberry runs on an SD card and those fail after too many read writes. Less I/O is better, but if you do, I'll show you later how to turn it off. If you do enable logging, because perhaps you want to spy on your family browsing habits, the next screen gives you filtering options. Installer checks for existing stuff. If none, it will create it. That includes user and group, running with the lesser privileges, Linux security stuff. Last screen, web address to access your Pi-hole admin from the browser, and the default password. Write that down, but then change that. Store your new password in the password manager. You do use password manager, right? You can change the Pi-hole password on the command line like this. Sudo Pi-hole set password, followed by your password. Note that the password is not masked on the command line in this case, and of course this isn't my real password, just illustrating a good one. Also note that my first attempt had an exclamation sign in it, and that failed. Do not use the exclamation sign in the Pi-hole passwords. And this right here will be your address to administer the DNS. Bookmark it. If you forget it, check the router for Raspberry Pi IP and add /admin at the end of it. Now let's log into our DNS administration. Nothing is being blocked yet. That is because there are no filters yet and the router is still using old DNS. On your router admin interface, find where it defines the DNS servers. Enter the IP of your Raspberry Pi and remove all the DNS servers. Note, if Raspberry Pi fails for whatever reason and you cannot reach websites, replace the DNS with 1.1.1.1 or 8.8.8.8 temporarily. When you hit save on the screen, your router may restart. To turn off the logging, use a command sudo pi-hole -l off, and to turn it on, use sudo pi-hole -l on. Now let's install Unbound. What the hell is Unbound, you might ask? Good question. The definition is, it is a validating recursive caching DNS resolver designed to be fast and lean. It helps to increase online privacy with DNS over TLS and DNS over HTTPS support. That encrypts your communication. Supports modern standards, limiting data exchange with authoritative services, improving privacy and robustness. Or, as Bernie would say, it's a good thing. Sudo apt update, sudo apt install Unbound. Raspberry is Linux, and that means no hunting around for fake download links, just terminal commands. Commands might be intimidating, so see the guide in the description. All steps and commands are there. Next, tell our DNS server to use the Unbound. For that, we need to edit the pi-hole.config. It is located in etc unbound unbound.conf.d directory. How do we edit it? Like this. Sudo nano /etc/unbound/unbound.conf.d/pi-hole.conf. Now look at the video description for the stuff that starts with the server colon between the three markers. Copy and paste everything between three markers into the nano and save the file. Next, run systemctl enable unbound.service and systemctl start unbound.service. If you ever need to restart it, run systemctl restart unbound.service. At this point, DNS resolves via Pi-hole on a Raspberry Pi, but we are not done yet. Now we need to add some domains to block. Search for Pi-hole block lists, plenty out there. The good start in 2026 would be this Hagazy list, it's highly recommended. A link in the description. When you get to that GitHub site, scroll down until you see the table that has like domains and subdomains, links, and what they should be used for. When you click on the link, it will open just basically a text file, copies the URL from the browser up above, and paste it into here. Do that for as many links as you can possibly find. The more, the better. The spammers, scammers, smart sites, etc., they generate in those domains quite often, so those lists would have to be updated to keep up with the new threats. When you're done with that, go to Tools, Update Gravity, and hit Update. Do not leave that page until the whole thing is done. That builds the database of the naughty servers to block. Not 100% protection from Slop, but blocks 97% of trash, smart sites, malware, annoying ads, trackers, fingerprinters, some Microsoft telemetry, and other junk on becoming of your eyes. And that's it. Enjoy more private and secure internet. No need for browser ad blockers. Any device on your home network is now getting nice and filtered internet connection. That would include your microwave, your TV, your cat litter box, anything.